Customer success managers often spend hours piecing together account health, digging through call notes, cases, and spreadsheets. Our Agentforce CSM agent changes that. With Agentforce, everything lives in one intelligent workspace. The CSM agent highlights risks, renewal opportunities, and customer sentiment in real time. It suggests follow-ups, tracks goals, and even recommends next steps so CSMs can focus on building relationships, not chasing data. And because prompts are fully customizable, executives, sales teams, and CSMs each get tailored summaries and insights that matter to them. The result? Stronger retention, better customer experiences, and a more productive success team. Let's take a look at how it works.
This is a AI-empowered CSM environment for managing account health and relationships and activities. So there is also sales-oriented for renewals and quotas and whatnot with AI-empowered. This one's all about CSM account management for your portfolio of the different accounts. So of course, when we log in, we see our typical homepage where I can see the accounts I'm responsible for with some key information about those accounts. We have our tab-based model here where we can add more tabs or only display certain tabs for certain people to limit the management there. But as a typical CSM, right, I want to see my work management where I can see all of my tasks that are either open, overdue, ones that I've delegated to other people, get our typical task management. And then we also have a typical dashboard where I can manage my book of business. So if we imagine we're a CSM and we don't necessarily want to have to review all this information to get a snapshot of our accounts, this is where our AI helper can come in. And I'll restart my conversation. So the great thing about Agentforce is I'm currently on the default agent just for the demo purpose, but you can have agents per persona. So if we wanted our sales team to have a different agent than our CSMs or support team, you can each have a tailored agent for each team. But for the CSM example, we say something like, give me an overview of my accounts. This is where there's a lot of standard out-of-the-box things, but there's also custom prompts. And we'll see this is a custom prompt I've tailored for CSMs to get a quick view of their book of business and what they're responsible for. Okay, we'll see as that starts to generate, we get our snapshot. So it's going to start with accounts that are high risk because that's what I told it to start with. We get a summary for those. I have told this prompt to only give me a summary for the high risk accounts. I don't want a summary for every single account. And we do see these are hyperlinked. So for any of these hyperlinks, I can pop straight to that record. But essentially, it's going to give us a summary of why the AI thinks this account is at high risk. It gives us a link to open support cases, the current risk we're tracking for that account, any goals we're tracking for that account. And then we move on to our accounts that are at low risk, and it gives us a brief overview of those. And then we move on to our healthy accounts that are at no risk. And of course, we see any open support tickets for those as well. So quick snapshot of my book of business right with the AI. And of course, this similar functionality can be plugged into Slack as well. So if we have people working in Slack, we can generate those there as well. And then some of the other nifty features with this AI assistant we've spun up. So if we're on an account record and we have an email or a call or a meeting, anything that we can trigger from Salesforce. So for this example, we have a call and then we have our transcript or summary of the call or anything similar to that, as long as it can be triggered from Salesforce again. So when I'm a CSM, I have a call, I want to make a update post call. So if I click on launch update, it's going to do some AI and give us recommendations of what it thinks we should do from the content of this call. So the first one is, do we want to update our customer sentiment? And it says, yes, we think you should update to red, and here's why. And it's going to give us that sentiment update, pre-populate red, Of course, human in the loop, I could always say, I don't think it was that serious. I think we should update to yellow, or I don't think we should update the sentiment at all. I think it's fine where it is. But that AI is going to give us recommendations, and then of course, give us that description that, again, your human could always go in and add more to or rephrase anything like that. So then if I just mark this as no to keep going, next, it's going to recommend if it thinks we should log goals and or open risk for this client. So we'll see there, it says, should we track a new goal? And it's going to say yes. The new goal we want to track is improve customer response times. And again, the idea of a goal here is something that builds the relationship. The idea of a risk in this example is something that would determine a renewal or not. But it's going to say yes, it's going to pre-populate the goal and give us a name of that goal. And then of course the description down below that a human, again, could always go in and edit as they see fit. Okay. And then the next one's, should we log a risk? Again, something that could determine non-renewal or something like that. So we come in and it's going to recommend, yes, you should log a risk, and here's why. And of course, you human could always finish up with the additional details, right? Expected completion date, deferral date, anything like that. But the AI is going to take the information from that email or phone call and give recommended updates to have. So some of the other features that are great, and I'll restart this conversation. So some of the other features that are great, especially with Agentforce, is the custom prompts, as we mentioned. So we're going to get some standard like summarize, review, XYZ, kind of standard out of the box actions, but you can also have custom ones. So summarize this account is going to basically look at this account and everything related to it. So we can also have custom prompts like this, where I'm telling it to give me a CSM account summary that focuses on the information that CSMs care about, which may not be the same thing support cares about, may not be the same thing sales cares about. I am focused on the CSM here. Okay. So then it's going to give us that summary based on what the CSM cares about. So risk, goals, open cases, a brief overview of open opportunities, quick summary of this account instead of going and looking at related records or the contracts they have in place. The other thing to think of is recommendations. So if CSMs are ever changing hands with accounts, or I'm a new hire, or I'm just not sure what I should do for this account in the near future. So I'm going to tell the AI, give me a recommendation to take on this account. And that AI is going to, similar to the summary, it's going to review recent activities, recent things that have happened on this account, and then give us recommendations. So it's going to come in and say, here's what we've recently done, here's what's open, here's your recommended next step. So address this renewal risk immediately, ensure promise escalation, and then it's also giving us another sentiment update based on recent activities.
That's the power of the CSM agent. By turning transcripts, cases, and account data into actionable insights, it helps CSMs stay proactive and customer focused. With smarter recommendations and less manual work, your team can build stronger relationships and drive higher retention. Ready to bring the power of Agentforce to your CSMs? Let's get started.